what we basically do with your tea's not a dirty tea like some of the teas we make.
Okay.
And so we use it more as a foliar application, although we apply it to the soil too, so we're pretty sloppy.
Is it open right now?
Yeah, you climb up on the ladder and watch out, pull it open. I just have the hose.
Okay.
Of this stuff, or trying to get it through a drip nozzle or anything. What I'm coming to the conclusion you need to do is let it settle anyhow, and then kind of siphon off the top and let the sediment down.
Okay. So I have a fellow in Cancun, Mexico, that does golf courses on chalky soil. How would you think this tea would benefit that soil?
Well, it benefit the soil by stimulating organic matter, because organic matter tends to make soil more on the acidic side. So as you have decomposition of organic matter, it's going to take that calcium and neutralize it. I look at the teas and look at the small amounts of plant food that we actually put in them, and I look at the response that the plant has to the teas, and I go, there's no way in hell there's enough fertilizer in here to justify or cause this response. So what's going on here? Is this helping the plant take up nutrients that are already there in the soil? Or have we been mistaken and things just need the right balance and they don't need as much, and we do a lot of luxury feeding and give plants too much fertilizer? 18 cups of compost and 12 cups of earthworm casings, and 7 or 8 cups of baseline humic acid stuff, and then I throw in some fish emulsion and these lily crates that I had. I used to be a lily grower. And I throw my apple scraps and things in there.
So you're obviously collecting the syrup from this, the juices that excrete from this.
What we're kind of doing is let me show you what I'm doing.
Oops, sorry, let me get out of it. I'll get over here.
I take a screen like that. Now the earthworms don't like light, so they're down in. And so I'll scrape some stuff off the top and put it in there. But see, when I get down in the muck,
right,
it's a solid worm. So what I do is I scrape it and then screen it. Not too hard. Then I dump it back into one of the other boxes.
And voila, there's your castings. Right. Wow. So like all this, I mean, all that material you just made right there is probably good for like maybe like 1-2 pots, or like a 1 gallon brew that could bust down to 50-60 gallons, if that. Yeah, I mean it's a lot of work. Wow, look at all this you got to use just to do a brew.
I need a bunch of this stuff.
Like how much of this would you say? How much of that pile would you say you would need compared to?
I haven't got a pile big enough yet.
Yeah, and with the material that you use from RT, how much in all-in-one?
Well, I've been using 2 of the scoop, I think it's 4 ounces.
Yeah.
I've been using that because, I don't know, you gave me a bunch of it, more is better.
Yeah, exactly. And obviously it's not hurting, right?
No,
so.
No, I don't think you could hurt it. I think you could dump the whole box in.
It's designed for...
Pretty idiot-proof. What you could do wrong with it is you could take water right out of the faucet and do it.
You're right.
Have any chlorine, really mess things up. Or you could let the tea sit too long or not long enough.
How long would you? How much and how long would you say this process would be? And
I don't know how the commercial producers of earthworm castings. I don't know what the process is.
Right.
I don't know how they separate the worms. Because my feeling is I got a big investment in having this many worms here. It took a while.
Right.
To get this growing this well.
Right.
Yeah, and they're all filled up maybe about a quarter.
Okay.
Different stuff to make the brew. And one of the things about the bag is you don't want to let the bag sit in the brew for too long, because you just want to see that the teas turn a nice brown color, and that you've got enough extraction out of it. If you let it sit, it's a good place for things to start to go anaerobic.
Right.
Yeah, that's some pretty nice looking stuff there. But it sure turns the water dark brown.
Wow. So this is how you would make a tea for your brew batch.
Yeah.
Wow, that's a lot.
Yeah, when you're buying it, you know, the cost of earthworm castings is expensive.
Right, because that's what I was back to saying is like they're paying a couple minimum wage guys probably to do whatever they got to do, then to bag it.
And then it's low analysis stuff that's got to be shipped.
Yep, and then that's going to also add a carbon footprint. So unless you're doing it like you are.
You know, it's ridiculous to ship 50 pounds of green sand from New Jersey for 2% potassium, and that diesel alone doesn't make it work.
Right, right.
So if we can find things locally, and then we can get them biologically broken down to where they're readily available plant nutrients.
Such as micronization?
That's a new one for me, you know, how to grind it all up and make it small enough that it's at least semi-soluble, if not soluble.
Okay, so subtropical zone. So this is more of what he would want to see.
Yeah, this is the kind of thing that you have, here's the northern edge of the subtropics in the United States is either Florida or San Diego. And, I don't know what the parallel on that is, though.
Okay. So these are relatively native plants to those areas then.
Yeah,
here.
these plants would not take a frost.
Okay.
And we have like these are conifers from the island of New Caledonia that kind of look like redwoods.
Okay.
That's where they're from. We have it's wild epiphytic orchids. These guys are a little bit past the prime. I think they kind of remind me of the ZZ Top brothers. Big beards.
Nice. And you say that it doesn't leave any residue on the leaves, which is good, huh?
No, yours is really clean. The stuff where we're using a lot of earthworm castings and a lot of, I found that by using your yucca, I don't get as much spotting, but without the yucca, especially we come in the next day and there would be all these black spots all over everything. And so it's healthy for the plant, but not attractive in an ornamental collection.
Nice. I'm glad I could accommodate the no spottingness.
And you know, a lot of times when I make a brew, I don't know what I'm doing, so I throw in, you know, a scoop of yours, or I just throw it in the kitchen sink to try to get as much stimulation as I can, get the microbes up. I don't use a microscope to try to determine what we have in there, but and we've been using it for 2 years here in the greenhouse. But a lot of times the secretaries or my wife, I'll bring home a couple gallons of it, and they put it on their houseplants, and they all swear by their houseplants, just for, you know, junk. So these guys are used to it here now.
Nice.
It's part of their diet.
Nice. So what kind of plant is this? I see this a lot in like Hawaii.
Well, this is a bird of paradise.
Okay.
And then this is a coffee here.
Oh wow, your coffee grows well compared to ours.
Yeah, it's doing really well in here. Ever since we started using the tea, the coffee did real well. I think it would be a real good component of coffee farming to use a tea on.
What kind of species is this one? Is
this is Arabica.
The Arabica, okay.
And during the right time of year, it's pretty fruitful. We get a lot of beans on it. See, here's green beans on this one. Best way to see them. But
oh, nice. Those are nice and big beans right there.
Yeah, they get nice big. There's 2 seeds per bean, and when they turn bright red, they're fun to eat because they have an almondish flavor.
Okay.
And then you spit the seeds out.
Nice. So this would work great for like places, you know, that like Jamaica, Colombia, Peru, wherever that they want to clean up their earth with coffee, right? Yeah.
I think they'd stimulate the growth of the coffee, you know, by both foliar and root applications.
Okay. Nice.